I'm back at it with this shit again. This is part 2. I think I already said this last time. So, I forgot what was going. Oh, Shuna-san. I gathered I would find you here. Gah, not again. I'm not sure exactly how this happened, but here we are, the four of us, just sitting at the counter, staring one another down. Atsuni occasionally leaves to the table or another to serve drinks, but mostly it's just us, the awkward silence and the sounds of slurping drinks. Atsuni, being the kind of person he was, supplied the annoying fake fiancé with chilled water, or soda, or something. I couldn't care less, now when Atsuni's right here, being his oh-so-perfect self. So, newcomer who doesn't ingest alcohol. I'm called Atsunya. I've been this here girl's babysitter for about 12 years now. Atsuni, using the I've known her longer card. I'm in heaven. He briefly stares at me, locking eyes for a fraction of a second before continuing. This is my classmate and close friend, Nia. Oh, this is him talking. And Nia, this is a guy who seems to be delusionally calling my precious little sister his fiancée. That's not very subtle at all. My mind filters out only what I want to hear. Precious. Ah, is that so? Actually, Nice to meet you. My name, it's... Allow me to refill your drink. That'll be 10,000 yen. This is mighty kind of you for a delinquent. Cue more awkward silence as fake fiancé sips his drink, and the aggravated woman busies herself with stealing glances at Atsuni from the corner of her eyes. In any other circumstance, I would be bitching about how this was my job, or I'd be blushing with how closely Atsuni seems to be watching me. But I was long too busy on rewinding how he called me precious at his own free will over and over and over again. I was only vaguely aware of how that woman had begun talking again, about a dessert bar or something. What even? I only came to when I noticed the foolish fake fiancé counting out 10,000 yen and then sliding it across the table in Atsuni's direction. What's this? Some odd form of bribery? I happen to not have any change on me at the moment. Atsuni face palms dramatically, fanning the 30,000 yen in the stalker's direction. Oh my god, you rich people. Don't tell me. You honestly thought just 2 glasses of soda would amount to 25,000 yen? I was joking. I blinked at that. Before I knew it, I had spoken up. You don't have to be so mean about it, Atsuni. It was almost unsettling how fast Atsuni's head whips in my direction, his expression as if he just reached across the counter and slapped him in the as I just reached across the counter and slapped him in the face. I gulped, my mind racing frantically. I was just saying that it's not really his fault that... What? That he has no real world experience whatsoever? He turns in fake fiancé's direction. What did you say you were studying again? Business management. Atsuni's rolled his eyes, giving me a really, you're defending him look. I do not believe I have ever partook in any activity that should cause you such tremendous distaste towards me, Atsuni-san. Well, Enough, all of you. This is getting pretty ridiculous. Asuna's old enough. Wait, what? What? Atsuna. Shuna's old enough to have her own opinions. It's high time you stop projecting your overprotectiveness on her. I never realized we were on this first-name basis, Miss Goody-Goody. He only shrugs, not really answering. And in all honesty, he seemed just as confused as me, if not more. It almost didn't sit well with me how she was the one who diffused the situation. Atsuni. He only walked away without another word. I watched as fake fiance started counting out a few coins, half sheepishly, half amazed. You can get drinks with just a few coins? That would seem so. His eyes light up excitedly. It was kind of precious. Wait, I did not just think that. The rest of the night passed in the same awkwardness. Before long, both Nia and fake fiance retired for the day. What a dick. I opposed to my butler's advice. I decided to stay back until closing. By the time Atsuni was wiping down the tables, my head had already bobbed on the verge of falling asleep. Go back home, if you're not that wasted. I snapped awake. You make it sound like I'm drunk or something. Drunk on vitamin C from all that orange juice. Haha, I try. I'm fucking blasted. There was a brief silence where he airs out one of the tablecloths, and after a few seconds of gathering courage, I speak up. What was that? He knew exactly what I meant, but he shrugged, feigning ignorance. What was what? Atsuni, why were you being such a little bitch? He was being a spoiled rich kid, and I called him out for it, that's all. But you're a little bitch. Well, I raised you right. I don't think you did a good of a job. What? I think I did a wonderful job. Stop trying to trick situation. That kid was just rubbing me the wrong way somehow. Why? Atsuni just stared at me. His lips set in a thin line. Before I knew what was happening, he leaned closer to me. He stopped, with his face inching away from mine. One little push, and he could be kissing for heaven's sake. I stiffed up. My heart practically leaping into my throat. I opened my mouth, but closed it again, speechless. I just don't like him, okay? His serious whisper causes a shiver to run up my spine. He pulls away moments later, a shrug smile on his face. He's toying with me, isn't he? I should be getting home now. You should, shouldn't you? Also... What? You never told me that I looked different today. You don't look much different. Oh, of course, Oh, why? Were you trying to impress someone? Yes, you. No. I just thought it was time for a change. I'm going home. He just stared at me as I walked away. What the fuck? He closed his eyes and sighed exasperatedly, running a frustrated hand through his hair. Oh, jeez, what's wrong with her? She's a kid, damn it. Just a kid. At least that was the plan. What? He stares at his phone for a bit before haphazardly typing something in, and then tossing it atop the countertop. Atop the countertop. Words. Why did he mention... Wait, did I leave and that's his thoughts? Or what was that? I'm a puddle with no feelings. I do not care about the trivialities of this earth. I am a puddle of mush. Just in, my phone pings. Nice flip phone. JK, you look cute, idiot. I stare at the text in shock, slowly reading and rereading that single line of sentence of text in my head. I pinch my cheeks until they turn painfully red, and I'm still in disbelief. I spend the rest of the night just rolling around in my bed, and sighing like a mindless idiot. Day 7. I am in the bar again, as is my routine. It's a wet bar. So is my annoying stalker. He's also here too. I busy myself watching him, Atsumi of course, not the stalker, as he goes from table to table. Though he did something ridiculous by calling me cute, I was confused. Though he did what? His taste in women really is a complete mystery to me, even after all these years. Does he like them sweet or suave? Pretty or normal? How much makeup is just right? He smiles at them all so equally that I can't even tell. Maybe he likes short-haired, well-mannered little ladies like her. I was gonna say girl, and I didn't stop myself because I was like, what the fuck? Well, you're sure hanging around here often nowadays. How old is he? I think he said it was like 19 or something. What? I'm always... What? I believe my presence here calls for no protest. I happen to pay you for what I order. Oh, Atsuni was talking to the stalker. Why come to a bar if all you drink is soda? You seem to raise no resistance to an underage woman who constantly sips under orange juice in such an unbecoming environment. That's what I'm saying. What the hell? I sigh, deciding to intercede. I sigh, deciding to intercede. Really, I didn't need this guy going up to my parents with any of his little complaints. Listen, dude, you're 19. Loosen up, will you? Huh? Why did you stop talking like some uptight old geezer? He blinks in genuine confusion, and I can't help but let out a groan of exacerbation. Whoa! But this is how I always address human beings. That was really creepy. What the fuck, are you E.T.? But this is how I've always talked to people. That is what I said. If you condense phrases, never hurt anyone. I do not understand. Don't. I don't understand. Yeeps, much better. Perhaps I will take you up on that bit of advice and try talking less formally. Maybe I'll listen to you and talk less formally. He stared at me intensely, as if committing what I was saying to memory. Finally, he gives a little nod. I'll do my best. What a knob. Well, someone's getting along with someone. Stop that, Asuni. I stop short of our eyes lock, and suddenly I'm reminded of the last day's text. Instantly, I look away, my face heating up and my throat growing dry. And oh, he seemed to be having fun with it. He walked down the counter, so he was in my line of sight again. And then he offers me a wide smile, a smile so innocent yet riddled with mischief, that it was undoing me at the seams. Alright? Look at people in the eyes when you scold them. That I don't want to even see your face like ever. Oh? And yet you keep coming back here. Can something fucking happen? Ugh! It's just a bunch of bickering around. I don't care. Atsunya, refill please. Coming right up. Why did I say this so seductively? He leans closer towards me, smiling devilishly. I'll be back, honey. These fucking people. They kill me on the inside, dude. I want to fucking die. He seems to be taunting you. You think I don't know that? Someone save me. My heart won't be able to take things at this rate. I sink as far into my chair as I can, but it's impossible for me to hide the flaming ball of red that is my face. I should strategically retreat from now. Jesus Christ. Sheesh. I should just have leaned forward and kissed him when I had the chance. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Stupid, dumb, stupid. I hurriedly, can't pronounce that for the life of me, pulled out my phone and typed out, as if in a mad rage. What should I say? What should I if the guy I like taunts me? Ask yourself this question. If he wasn't super cute, would you tolerate this behavior from him? I doubt it. He's obnoxious. Looks aren't everything. Oh my god, internet. Answer to the point, will you? And again, why does the guy I like taunt me? Imagine you're suddenly, without any warning, stuck with these powerful emotions. What are you to do? You don't think. You respond to your subconscious impulse and to dominate and to raise your status. Genes give us better odds of survival. Competition is key. We live in a materialistic world because collecting nice things, wealth, raises our status. Unless we learn better, getting angry, shouting, or striking out, we are all rewarded by the brain. The instructions for our subconscious impulses are written in our genes. They wait for the right stimulus. And now, I'm confused, really. How can these people be a little more, simple-minded? That or they saw in some chick flick that some bad guys are 70% more desirable than the sweet ones, and that they should bully the ones they love. Well, Atsune's never bullied me per se, I think. Atsune is back at the counter again, his face having resumed his little devilish smile. But this time, he chooses to say nothing. I look at my search results, and then at him, and then back at the results. Hey Atsune, have you ever been overtaken by the impulse to dominate? What the fuck are you talking about? Atsune reaches over and wrestles my phone out of my grip. What sort of sodded shit are you reading? Don't look! His eyes scan my phone as he looks, locking his beautiful sapphire orbs with mine. He seemed to be considering something, like he was carefully weighing out options. And me, my mind was racing, as I desperately tried to think of an excuse. Something, anything. Who is taunting you? His voice was low and kind, and it made my heart quake with an intensity that left me devoid of breath. Before I could even process, I had spoken out. You. Huh. That's so? He was being strange, even in his laughter. You should go home now. But I... Get the fuck out of here. Alright. Dazed, I stand from my seat and walk towards the door. What had I just done? Does this count as a confession? A serious one? Was I just rejected? Worse yet, were my feelings just disregarded? What even? Once I'm in my mansion gates, I sink to the ground, burying my face in my eyes. I hadn't noticed that fake fiancé had left with me. Are you crying? I'm not. Ah, okay. Wordlessly, he sits down next to me, our shoulders close and barely touching. You're gonna get your designer clothes all muddy. That doesn't particularly concern me, as does your well-being, Natsune-san. Really, what was that with him? Couldn't he just leave me alone at my lonesome self? I wouldn't admit it, but on some level, I guess I'm glad for this tiny little gesture of support. The next day, Atsuni was doing what he did best, pretending that whatever had transpired yesterday hadn't happened. He was normal, so utterly normal that on some level it pained me. He was conversing with that annoying classmate of his like nothing else mattered. So, I just happened to have 2 free tickets and I shouldn't have intervened, but I couldn't help it. What's this I hear about an aquarium?
Well, Nia's inviting me on a trip. Wanna go with?
Oh my god, Atsuni, read the atmosphere.
Hmm?
Oh, that innocent and oblivious smile will be my downfall. And hers, apparently. And on some level, I wonder just how much of that is an act. But really, I'm glad he invited me. I mean, the moment I heard them, I decided that I was going to low-key stalk them anyway.
Might we take this opportunity to set up a double date? I would gladly come with. Oh, double date? I'm getting real close and personal, don't you know?
Who asked you for your opinion?
Susan, Sasusan, Sunasan. It is only natural. Would you not be lonely should these 2 lovebirds wander away?
They are not lovebirds. Atsuni seemed to regard him with some amount of amusement before finally speaking up.
I don't see why you can't come along.
I said that with so much more judgment. Atsuni? Atsuna. But the thing is, I only have 2 tickets.
That's alright. I'm sure the little hair and the hairless can pay for themselves.
Boo. Discrimination.
Fuck you.
Gods. What was he planning?
So it's Saturday, 9 a.m. sharp, in front of the railway station. Be okay with everyone?
Sometimes I wish.
Did you say something new?
No. Nothing at all.
I am quite excited. Shall I ask my chauffeur to bring along the car? Railway station implies we're taking the train. No sheltered drama.
Nameless fiancé seemed distraught by the moment, and just when I think he's going to whine, he beams brighter than the sun.
I really am quite the more excited now. I must leave and get all prior engagements out of the way. I look forward to spending time with you, Shuna-san.
He was off. At some point, that woman had also mumbled an excuse and went on her way. Cautiously, I reach on over and elbow Atsuni in the side of his ribs. We're going on a date! Ah!
It's a double date, and not with each other.
I didn't understand his need to clarify it, but I went along regardless. Still. It's been ages since we went out together somewhere. You've just been so busy all the time. He seemed to consider something for a bit before humming in agreement. I hope.
You're right, huh?
Of course I am. I hardly ever see you outside this bar. I mean, I know you're having a tough time and all, by yourself, but... He smiles softly as he ruffles his hair on the top of his head.
It'd be fun tomorrow, I promise.
I can only nod in return, before adding thoughtfully, should I bring my swimsuit?
Not unless you plan on staying back with the penguins. What?
I was fucking... Alright. You're great at flirting, dude. Alright. How to get my friends to like me and enter.
Break the touch barrier. Small physical gestures are building blocks of deeper intimacy. Try being more hands-on with your interest. Grab his arm suddenly while telling him an exciting story, or place your hand on the small of his back when she's walking. Wait, what? Grab his arm suddenly while telling him an exciting story, or place your hand on the small of her back when she's walking through the door ahead of you. This kind of subtle contact can awaken arousing feelings in your interest and may create a desire for more. What arousing? Increasing physical contact with your friends slowly but respectfully. One of the major differences between friends and lovers is that lovers tend to touch each other in more flirtatious and suggestive ways. When you introduce a more intimate level of contact with your friend, it will naturally influence the way they view you and your relationship. Well, that's enough internet for today. Flirtatious and suggestive. I am so not doing that. Next result. It's impossible. That is all.
Say what? Die, internet. I'll figure my way through things. Just you wait. I won't admit to it if asked, but I spend a very long portion of an hour or two just picking out which outfits to wear. Only in the end, I settle on a few same standard outfits, and I always did. I mean, purple suited me, I think, right? And Atsumi didn't come pick me up. He could have, though. I mean, we were going to the same place anyway. Geez, I can't believe this.
Looks like the gang's all here. This doesn't look like a railway station, I think. Wait, this doesn't look like a railway station, I think.
That's because it's the street near the railway station. I can't say that shit for the life of me. The railway station. Fake fiance is looking around in wonder.
This is amazing.
Wow, rich kids sure are annoying. Haha, don't worry. I was clueless the first time I rode the train too.
Oh, really? When was that?
When I was 9. Atsune and I locked eyes and let out a huge laugh in unison.
What's so funny?
Nothing. We kind of sort of snuck away at this huge part in the next city without either of our parents knowing.
Our ears were ringing for a week after that. It wasn't fair that I bore all the scoldings just because I happened to be a guy.
That and you were older. You should have known better than to kidnap and harass. A rich heiress seemed to have thoroughly enjoyed her way in captivity, though, if memory served. Maybe. We're here.
This place looks oddly suspicious and unkempt.
Oh, stop whining and come on. We wound through the lanes until we came to the gates of our destination. After paying for mine, After paying for mine and the stalker's tickets, we hit it on inside. We're here.
Wow. Well, the place is smaller than I remember.
But it's so magical. This was supposed to be a date. I was supposed to act dignified and prove that I was much better than this Nia person. But I couldn't help but dart from place to place. There was even a photo booth where you could take photos with accessories, starfish, pointed hats, dolphin flippers, shell bikinis, things like that. I'm taking the crown. Isn't this supposed to be underwater themed? Why is there even a crown? Little Mermaid? Fish? Princess? Duh.
Well, I think it suits you, milady, tips the fedora.
Fake fiance does a fake bow. What the fuck? He just literally does that.
Uh-huh.
What?
This reminds me of the time you made your butlers call you princess instead of a young mistress.
They even bowed and everything? Although seemingly put off by how easily and frequently Asuni was pulling out antidotes from our past, Asuni's date tilted her head at the slightest degree and gave him a scowling, convincing chuckle. You don't say.
Really, they even bowed and everything. They were this close to getting her a cap and gown, a cap and throne room.
Don't exaggerate.
Wait, did they bring you a frickin' tiara?
Huh?
And you call me a prisoner? Locked me in your bedroom and pretended it was a dungeon?
Best week of my life. That woman looked visibly alarmed. She opened her mouth, but closed it again. It took her a while to frame exactly what it was she wanted to say. She kept you locked for a weekend? Whoa there. How crazy did this lady think I was? I opened my mouth to protest, but Atsuni beats me to it.
She would have, had her parents not liberated me.
You're making mountains out of a molehill. Now shush. We're clicking for pics. For some reason, Nia, that woman, seemed to be considerably quietened. What? Quiet down. After that. Quieted down. Normally, she'd be chatting away without a care in the world. Now she just seemed to be somewhat lost in thought. Not that I care. When she did talk, though, she found some excuse to touch Atsuni. Whether it be tugging on his sleeve to get his attention, or a friendly whack on his shoulder when she laughs, or standing so close to him when they look into the tanks that their shoulders are barely touching. One of the major differences between friends and lovers is that lovers tend to touch each other in more flirtatious ways, suggestive ways. Well, looks like someone's taking the internet seriously.
2 could play at that game. Just call me Shuna. What the fuck? Just call me Shuna, the plan thwarter.
Oh wait, that's me talking. What the fuck? I saw him and I thought he was talking. Oh, 2 can play that game. Just call me Shuna, the plan thwarter. Was that even a word? Never mind. And so, I commenced my mission of getting in her way, of sticking closer to Atsuni that she did. Whenever she goes next to him, say when he's busy peering into the random aquatic creature's tank, that's when I slip myself in between their shoulders, complete with an innocent smile. On one such occasion, though, as my shoulders dashed theirs, the woman let out a little cry. What happened afterwards seemed to transpire in slow motion. She went falling towards the ground. Her eyes catch mine, and she gives me a momentary smirk, almost like an announcement of I win. Ouch! That hurts! I think I twisted my ankle. I stare open-mouthed as both Atsuni and fake fiancé kneel by her side, examining her foot. Oh, no. Ah, Shuna-san. Oh, wait. What? Sorry. Suna-san. I get you're excited and all, but I wish you wouldn't dash people so hard.
Wait, you tackled her to the ground?
I swear I didn't. I stopped short, seeing the looks both Atsuni and fake fiancé were giving me, not to mention her lips, unturned in a horrible, smug fashion.
Is there any sound?
What happened to the sound? There's no music, it's really tense.
What if I accuse her?
That would be in character. Oh, please, give it a rest. You're clearly not hurt. What, you think you're such a manipulator? Playing the damsel in distress and appealing to the male's protective instincts? In my head, I knew I had to calm down, that I should be handling this situation smoother, since clearly it seemed that as if I were the bad guy. Shuna, the least you could do is apologize. And if you really don't feel sorry for what was clearly your fault, at least shut that trap of yours. Damn! I stare at Atsunis incredulously. Surely he wasn't scolding me. Surely he wasn't falling her into her trap and believing that I actually did that on purpose. Surely he didn't think that I was that low of a human being. I pointed in her direction. You little witch! How dare you! Shuna, that is enough. Maybe you should go cool that over. Maybe you should cool. Maybe you should go cool that overexcited head of yours down. Jesus, I hope you trip and fall into a ditch. What the fuck is my problem? I could feel tears prickling my face. This was supposed to be a fun day. This was supposed to be fun. Blinking my tears away, I whirl around and stalk away even as Asuni propped her up, using his shoulders. I hate this. Okay, I was getting more than a little bit worked up here. But come on, I was on a double date with the love of my life and my nameless future fiancé, and this girl just came in and stole him from right under my nose. How was I supposed to get through this horrendous ordeal, which I did not suggest in any way? Shuna. Gods, it's him. I don't want him to see me cry. I can't turn around. I just can't. Are you okay? Things got a little bit heated in there. I'm going to feed her to the sharks. Why you put me around that shark full of blood? What? Of course, that's what I mean. How can he see anything in her? She's just... Ugh. Actually, I didn't have a long list of what was actually wrong with Nia. But she wasn't me, and that's what I was upset about. Feeding people to sharks didn't necessarily solve all of the one's problems. It would have solved this one. I turn, and then I see him, and I want to cry all over again. He's silent. Part of me wishes he would just say something already. I made a scene in there. Call me out on it or something. That's what Asuni would do. In fact, that's what he did. Asuni holds back at nothing when it comes to criticizing me. It's one of its only annoying qualities, really, but one that I'd come to depend on. At least, Atsuni was honest. I had no idea what this enigma of a nameless guy was, and what he was thinking. This wasn't really going to work out, was it? He said it so quietly that I wasn't sure if he'd really spoken at all. Did he mean us, as in future couple? Or this date for the four of us together? Whatever he meant, my heart began to sink to the bottom of my stomach, and I didn't know if it was guilt or... What's that supposed to mean? Your feelings for him, pretending to be going out with me, was never going to work out. Now I really felt bad, and it seems like my heart was so worn on my sleeve that everyone else could see it except the dumb barkeep in there with another date. Oh my god, I'm losing my brain cell. See? That's the thing. We are out together on a date. I'm not with him. But you want to be. Obviously I do, hence the drama. I don't know what you want, I don't know what you want me to say. He's silent again, staring at me with intensity, his face a blank stare. I hated that. It gave me something akin to goosebumps, and I was starting to feel awkward, almost like I was in the wrong. I'm not wrong. It's everyone else with the problem. It's everyone else with the problem. Okay.
If Atsuni would just man up and give me a chance to love him for the rest of eternity.
Do I have a chance?
Eh? I snapped my head back at him, caught off guard by the meekly put question. Huh? How do I even answer to that? Having a so-called plan B if Atsuni didn't confess his love for me was never on my radar. It was never even miles near my radar. I would succeed. I will succeed. And yet, strangely, I find myself sighing. I don't know. All I ever thought about is
Him, I figured.
I can't believe he's judging me. What nerve. It's not easy to just throw love away and move on with someone else.
I'm not asking you to do that. I'm just asking you to consider another option.
I don't want another option, don't you see? You're just like my parents, thinking what's best for me. You should know what's best for me. I should know what's best for me. I am me. Everyone could probably hear my yelling by now. Perhaps I was going a little too overboard with everything. But all my hurt feelings had just triggered, and then somewhere deep down inside of me was the frightening prospect that the nameless fiancé was right. What if I was What if I was staking everything on some silly childhood feeling that I'd never outgrown, making a horrible mistake instead of giving a chance to anyone else?
I'm terribly sorry. But given this whole thing today, I was hoping sincerely that it was my best intention to.
Okay, stalker, you're stammering again. Spit it out.
I had some misconceived notion that this would be counted as our first date of sorts. But now I know how ridiculous that even is, with his and your history and everything. You must believe me that if I had known.
I get it. You're a good guy and you just wanted to get to know me. You're forgiven. He was guilting me, a bit not on purpose. I had to throw him a bone.
But I do urge you in the coming days to think about my question. If we are not to go through the motions already by setting in play for us, then decisiveness is key.
Could you for once just say things like a normal person would? Can I just say things like a normal person would? I have no idea what you're trying to say here.
You need to work out your feelings, Shuna, and you don't have too long to do it. Please, at the very least, consider me. I gather that's only fair.
He's right. It is only fair for me to consider him. But my heart is so full of Atsuni that I could barely think of anything else. Yet, there is that possibility that Atsuni is just some far-off dream that I haven't yet let go of. Something that could never be more than a dream. Thoughts like this make my heart ache even more. It's my turn to be quiet. Finally humbled, I speak softly. Okay. I had a lot to think about. But for now, I plaster that faltered smile on my face and take a hold of his sleeve. Let's go back inside and feed the penguins. He seems to be taken aback and opens and closes his mouth a couple of times before nodding.
That is allowed?
Yes, they're adorable. Every bit of adorable as me.
Oh my god.
I stop short, gulping as I regard that elated expression on his face. To hide my embarrassment, I nudge him in the ribs. Let's get going then.
Understood.
The four of us meet up in the entrance later that in the day. I try my hardest not to flash Nia a smug smile. Really, I do. Really. Not really. And clearly she wasn't limping anymore. Ah, that fake woman. But it's alright. I wouldn't overreact. I would prove that I'm the bigger person. Dude, I'm a bitch. I overreact and I call people out and I suck. I don't know why this guy puts up with me. Like, seriously, I'm a minor. Why am I in the bar?
That morning, I was on my way to school when I happened to notice someone lurking near the entrance of Atsune's bar. She was out again and disappeared just as suddenly as she appeared. Cautiously, I draw the door open and peer into the bar, and there I see why she was acting all sneakily and suspicious. She had left a pack of lunch on the counter with a flowery handwritten note. Without a second hesitation, I draw the box open. Sheesh, onigiri, how basic. Really, it's stupid how she keeps treating herself like she was his housewife. Am I the only one getting engaged? Or him? Jeez. Really, there is only one thing to be done. I take the lunchbox and skip on over to my house, into my kitchen. Now, to make the perfect replica. Bwah, thanks. Would it be suspicious if I skipped school today, just to see his reaction? It would be, wouldn't it? Then I walk into the bar later that day. I see the lunchbox still on the counter, unopened.
Ho ho ho.
What? Well, Atsune, must be nice being popular, huh?
Sure is.
Quite pompously, he makes a show of undoing the napkin that the box was tied up in.
Well, would you look at that, onigiri. Perfect. Little oval-shaped rice balls.
Spare me the live commentary.
Uh-huh.
He raises it to his mouth and takes a bite. His face contorts as his little taste buds take in just as he eats it.
Yes. I said it. I nailed it.
In the very next seconds, I suck at cooking, huh? He choked, clutched his neck, as any sentence he was going to utter devolved into a full-on coughing fit. After a good 5 minutes or so, he straightened up and looked straight at me, his gaze narrowing accusing. Fuck, I can't say that. He was accusing stare, like he was accusing me of something. Like he was accusing me of shit.
You switched them out, didn't you?
I'm hurt that you would have such little faith in me.
What did you put in them? Tell me, I need to know how exactly I am to die from this.
It's a rice ball. Rice and salt and seaweed wrap. Simple.
Wait. Then, what are those colored ball-like thingies?
It's rice.
Oh my god. It's washing powder.
Why would there be washing powder in the kitchen?
You tell me. Seriously, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much did you want to kill me?
Atsune, I swear He was hysterical, unwilling to listen to anything I had to say. He came to me with a little tirade, all the while making disgusting gagging noises. Well, 2 could play at that game. The last time you ate my cooking, you said you wanted to wash your mouth out with soap.
Not literally.
I just aided you in the process. Goodbye, then. And cue dramatic entrance, complete with a flick of the hair.
You little brat.
Achievement unlocked. Food poisoner.
I almost killed a man. Why do I suck at cooking?
I decided to drop by earlier than usual, mostly because it was raining, and rain made me weak.
Maybe lazy weak.
I was met with a mostly empty bar, and Atsune's figure huddled over the counter, with his forehead buried in his palms. He seemed frustrated, and I didn't think what happened yesterday called for such a reaction. I approached cautiously. Atsune? He seemed to jolt out of his trance. Hurriedly, he crumbles the piece of paper that was right in front of him and keeps it balled in his hand. Suspicious. What's that?
Nothing that should concern you.
We have a little staring contest as I try to gauge his expression, and he keeps a poker face so as to not divulge anything. Oh my god, what's that over there?
Huh?
I take the opportunity to take the hold of what part of the paper was sticking out of his hand, and consequently snatch it away. Atsuni, as gullible as ever I see.
Hey, give it back!
Shush! My thoughts are brought to a halt as I see the ridiculous sum of money that was listed at the bottom, along with what can only be described as a threat. A threat to denounce the right to the bar or pay off this so-called debt. What is this, Atsuni? Whose debt is this? Don't tell me. You've been borrowing money behind people's back?
You honestly think I would do that after what happened with my deadbeat dad?
Well, no, but this makes no sense. I thought all the initial money was paid off.
Oh, that was fairly recent. That good-for-nothing man, given his inability to stop gambling, ended up neck-deep in debt again. And surprise, surprise, guess what he left as collateral this time?
The bar.
Bingo.
Atsuni, calm down.
Oh, I'm calm, alright. As calm can be. What is with him? Gambling is one thing, but this sheer amount. Even if I were to suck my college money dry, I couldn't pay out half of this. And there's no way I'm giving up this place. Our only means of livelihood for some third-rate guy who just up and disappeared one day.
Maybe. You should go to the police.
Oh, no. I'm taking this as it comes.
I stare at the sum of paper and then back at him. You know, I could help pay this off if you... I mean, I have quite the tab to pay you back.
What tab? Your Orange 2 tab isn't even at easily 2.5% of the sum.
But if you could take it as is...
Oh goodness. There you go again.
Huh?
Don't you think it's pretentious of you, Shu? You constantly complain about being an heiress. How you wish that you were just a regular person. But when it comes down to it, you don't even hesitate flaunting the money you have. Money that just happened to be in your name because you were lucky enough to be born with the right people at the right time.
Atsuni, I didn't mean... I was just saying that...
If you can just get off that high horse for a minute and look around.
Atsuni, I didn't mean it that way. He seems to freeze in his tracks. His eyes widen as he forces himself to take calming breaths. When he speaks up again, his voice is shaking.
Maybe you should just leave now, Shu.
This was Atsuni's way of protecting me, pushing me away as always. And as much as I wanted to cling onto his sleeve and insist that I would stay by his side, I knew it was best to give him the space that he needs now. Yeah. It was all I could do to stumble out of the bar and into the street. Once I was there, I couldn't move an inch, even as the rain pelted on me. It's so sad. Never had I ever, even in my wildest dreams, thought that he'd yell at me like that before.
I was trying to help out. You could take some of my money.
Maybe he was right, though. Maybe I was being pretentious, flaunting the money that wasn't even rightfully mine to begin with. But I only wanted to help. I didn't. My thoughts stop short of a vague feeling of deja vu. Overtakes me. That's right. Something similar had happened before. Atsuni.
Wait, that's me? Oh.
Atsuni, why are you working so hard all by yourself? Can't you let your father help you?
My old man's run away, Shu. My mom can't make enough to feed us and send me to school.
Oh, that's why. Daddy says you should sell the bar.
The bar's all we have. We can't.
If it's money, I can give you my allowance. Oh, please. As if I can depend on a 7-year-old's allowance for my what? Wait. Oh, please. As if I can depend on a 7-year-old's allowance for my livelihood. I was 7 years old? When was I talking to this dude? I was 7 years old at a bar? Holy crap. There's a fucking train behind me. Holy... I don't know if you can hear that. There's a train going on. I live right next to the choo-choo. But... I don't want to know how much you're getting, Shu. It will only just depress me further. Okay. I asked Daddy to help you. Why did I... Oh. Shut the fuck up, train! Shut up, Dad! That's Daddy honking in the background. Why the fuck is the train honking? Why does train honks? You hear that? It's going ape shit. Thomas the Tank Engine's doing his shit. Anyway, I asked Daddy. What the I asked Dad to help you, and he agreed. Why would you do that? I hadn't even ever expected Atsuni, the calm, tender, and caring Atsuni, to shout at me like that. His fingers held my shoulders in a vice-like grip, and the look on his face was scaring me. Because Atsuni was suffering, and Shuna doesn't want... Am I talking to the third person? Stop it, Shu. Stop it, Shu. Just stop. Things aren't that simple. But Stay out of this. This is Mama. Asuna, we should accept this kindness, honey. But Mom! Tears rolled down my cheeks. I just wanted everyone to be happy. Never did I ever think Atsuni would be so horribly angered. My fists were clenched desperately at the helm of my father's coat, and he seemed to notice my knuckles turning white. My dad was there too? Holy shit. Holy shit! He speaks up in a gentle tone, but delivers a statement with the undertone of my order. 3 years. I'll support your family for 3 years until Asunya becomes old enough to apply for part-time jobs. What? After that, you can pay me back what was spent. Although I don't really want to, I'll accept it. Working now, you'll just stay in elementary school. When you're still in elementary school, will be problematic, both for you and your mother. Wow. Just take the guy's damn money. You stacked. Dead? Once you're in middle school, you can take up part-timing. I'm ready to work right now. Do you think anyone's going to employ an elementary brat for any worthwhile job? There are often times when I wish my dad was less blunt, more adhering. But on that day, it was his bluntness that saved Atsuni, that drove reason into him. My advice is to sell the bar, but if you don't want to, you can lease it out for now. Why can't he just buy it? I'll help manage it until you turn into a high schooler and can take over. But sir, no plausible protests, I believe. Atsuni opens his mouth, but closes it again before giving a hesitant nod. I understood. Oh, that was him. Whoops. He bowed deeply, his shoulder visibly trembling, and his voice cracking the slightest bit. We would like to humbly request your assistance. Did? Such a troublesome boy. Let's go, Shuna. Damn. Fuck this little kid. Oh, okay. Wait, why is the kid giving all the shots? Talk to the mom. What the crap? Damn. And in like preschool, he was running a bar.
Was he the bartender during preschool? Wow. Let's tell it tight. I didn't want to leave him there like that, with his head bowed so pathetically, possibly crying. Whoa. At that point, I was yet to understand how I had possible led to his pride being trampled upon. I guess I never learned, huh? My thoughts were interrupted as a sneeze raced its way through my body. But by the time I head back home, I was drenched from head to toe, and I leave a trail of dripping water as I make my way back to my room. Bruh. I felt cold. And that really wasn't because of the rain. So Daddy Warbucks is paying for the shit. Fever sucks. Like really, head. Must you hurt like you'll explode anytime? Like, oh, it's like my head. Atsuna, what's wrong? Oh, Atsunya! It's nothing, really. That smile of his is so fake. The door draws open and a few burly men walk in. Got the money together, kid? Like I said, I owe you nothing. We've already paid back what that deadbeat dad of mine owed you. His current business is of no concern to us. Ya hear? Ya hear? Ugh. Just hand over the bar to us before someone gets hurt, kid. I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. So you're resorting to petty threats, as expected of mindless thugs. Atsuna, don't provoke them. You know, you'd have a death wish. Let's see you do your best then. No sooner did he speak that, he was hit with a blow straight to the jaw. Asuna! Damn, he got turned. I'm in my room. What's that commotion? With much difficulty, I drag myself to my window and peer outside only to see a few gasping women crowded around the entrance of Atsuna's bar. Damn him, as popular as ever I see. Here I am, suffering with this fever, and he had his fangirl horde breathing down his neck. In the next second, though, there was a huge crash, and sounds of shattering glass, and a lot of them gasped Atsuna's name. A fight? Atsuni! My mind seemed to clear up instantaneously as I stumbled out of bed and half tripped down the stairs. I'm coming, Atsunya! Barefoot and still in my nightgown, I dashed across the street and winged my way through the crowd of those useless fangirls. Uh-oh. My blood goes cold the moment I laid eyes on the scene. Uh-oh, cliffhanger. He got his ass beat. He got in it with the sharks. He got his ass beat. That sucks to be you. Anyway, see ya.